Okay, so this next section is equipping girls to understand their emotional needs and why it's important to express them in healthy ways. And it's all going to be about a gingerbread man. So if you're feeling really, really creative, rather than just use the cutout resource that you can download, maybe you want to make actually gingerbread girls or gingerbread boys to use with your group. And I think really the very basic entry point in teaching your group about this is to say that, you know, all of us are born with physical needs that need to be met. We need to be fed, we need to have water, we need to have shelter, and if we don't get those things, we die. But we also have emotional needs that need to be met, and if those needs over a long time are not met, that can lead to all kinds of things around emotional and mental health, like depression and anxiety. And so it's quite good to introduce those topics in that way, that the needs that we have, the God-given emotional needs that we have, need to be met. And the wonderful thing is, isn't it, that actually God meets all of our needs. The Bible says that we can come to him and he meets all of our needs. But one of the things that God does is he puts us in community and relationships with others where we can appropriately meet each other's needs. And so this next section really is helping girls understand the different emotional needs that they have, and begin to help them think about how they might meet those needs in really positive, healthy ways. So here we go, you've got your gingerbread girl, you've got your gingerbread boy. I'm going to take you through 6 of the 9 emotional needs. I think it's the 6 that probably relate most to young people. So we have head, achievement. We need to know that we're good at something, that we can do something. Which is why, isn't it, we often encourage girls not just to sit and paint their nails and straighten their hair, although I love that. We take them to do other things like rock climbing and do craft and a Sudoku quiz and anything. We want to help them see what they're good at. And actually helping girls learn what they're good at is a really great way to build their self-esteem and meet that emotional need. And then think about the neck. Another need that we have is for safety, for security, to feel emotionally safe. We know that domestic violence between peer-on-peer relationships is increasing. We know that some of the girls that we work with in our GB groups might be in friendships or relationships or even from home life where they don't feel emotionally safe, and that need needs to be met. And actually, if we don't feel safe emotionally, we can't really grow and develop because we're so worried about what's happening. We can't actually spend any time or energy thinking about other things. And then think about one of your arms, intimacy. A friend, a good friend, somebody in your life who knows you warts and all and loves you anyway. And aren't girls craving that? They are, aren't they? Just think about most of the things that you handle in your group are probably fights between friends, isn't it? Because actually girls have an inbuilt emotional need to have an intimate friendship with somebody else. And that can get exclusive, that can be unhealthy, and it can be really, really powerful. And then think about the other hand, community. We need an emotional need to be part of a community outside of our family. And it's what GB does very, very well. It offers girls the chance to be part of not just the community of their group, but the community of GB England and Wales and the community of GB worldwide. So it's really powerful every time you talk to the girls about what is happening in other GB groups and what's happening globally for GB. It's why Bring Back Our Girls was so powerful. Girls need to know they're part of a bigger community that meets an emotional need. And in the centre of us, the heart, purpose and meaning. What am I here for? What's my life about? I bet the girls you work with are asking that in some way. They have an emotional need to know what their life is about. And Jesus says that he has come that we might have life and know it in all abundance. That's what we're about, isn't it? Helping girls explore the God-given calling on their lives. And then just think about covering your private parts. Privacy. We have a need for privacy. To be able to think for ourselves, to be able to shut the door and just have a moment of peace. And some of the girls that in your group, they might be sharing bedrooms with siblings. They might be a very chaotic home and they have a need for privacy. And then think about the legs. We have a need to give and receive attention. If I'm pointing my foot at you, I'm giving you attention. We have an inbuilt need to give and to receive attention. And often when you hear people talking about young people self-harming, what do they say? Oh, it's a cry for attention. Well, actually, it probably is. Because actually we need to give and to receive attention. It's a kind of God-given need for us. So you're going to help the girls think about them, draw pictures on their gingerbread girl symbols that relate to these things. Really help you spend time helping them to really understand these different needs. If you've got like a little gingerbread girl, get your icing pens and have fun. And you might want to nibble, say, actually, if you don't feel like you've achieved anything, like bite off the head and say, what does that look like now? Just think about ways of engaging girls. Think, what happens if actually nobody in your life gives you positive attention? What happens if you don't have a close friend ever? Someone that you can talk to? What happens if you in the middle, you just don't know what your life's about? But the good news is these needs can be met. These needs can be met. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to think about 2 or 3 of these needs that you think are the most pressing for your group, your girls, and then get them to brainstorm what might be some of the really damaging, unhelpful ways to meet those needs. Being an attention seeker, being always the one that's grabbing attention, maybe using self-harm as a way of saying, I'm in pain. But what might be other good ways to actually say, I need some positive attention? Could be asking your GB leader, can I meet up with you and talk to you about something? I need to get this off my chest. So you're going to be helping the girls take responsibility and be really powerful about thinking about their needs, about how they can positively get these needs met. Isn't that great? Isn't that hope? Isn't that what knowing Jesus is all about? Knowing that he made us to know him first and to have really good relationships with each other. So I hope you really enjoy this next section.